Hello builders, welcome to another ESO Homes. Today we're going to be looking at a town build in erinhir. It's not staying. Basically I tried doing some inside areas and they took up more slots than I needed to finish the outside. So it's all going to be stripped back and simplified. But we're going to do the basic walk around so you can just see the layout, get ideas. And then I'll start on the point where I'll explain stuff and you can all jump off if you want to. I've got all the signs out, so I wanted to do one of every store. They would have been decorated and themed, but there was just too much going on. So I'm not going to try and talk too much for the first part. Compact living area. Could have done like a tiny built-in kitchen. Probably here actually, and moved the fire down to the far end, but didn't get around to that. If you look at the things I'm on, no, I've got 4 slots free. One of the cutbacks was obviously lighting. That's just the large display case put sideways into the units. It's a teensy bit small, but you can jiggle it to have the gap out the side. Okay, let's get on with just the walking, and I'll try and shut the hell up. This was going to be the Fighters Guild, but I couldn't decorate it, so it's just... Horta's now got reason to boast. With the Fighters building upstairs. Oops, and I didn't place a bar for that. I've actually got plans to do a series of small builds, but theming each one about a crafting area or a store kind. Because I've got so many workshop items that are just kind of scattered between builds. Don't worry if you can't see these buildings too well at the moment. You'll get an overview from above as well. And this wasn't a lot of items. Fish is one. It's kind of a solitude drying rack with the fish. A couple of Lux meats. And then just some generic food on ropes. But these are like the bookcases. If you get them kind of pre-filled on the racks, it really helps. Okay, let's head up to the second level so you can see properly. This area got no love at all due to the cap. I mean, aside from the stables, there was going to be a pottery area. Should have been the ever-turning pottery wheel here, but I just run out of items. And this area was going to be the travelling minstrel area. Stagecoder came out alright. Okay, so at the top I'm going to give you the panoramic view. So when you first get the house, it looks like this little bit here, this, and part of this, and I turned it into this. Perfect. Ah, dear God. Alright, let's just finish that off. I'm not going to re-record, I don't care. So along here, you got woodworking store. You got my Fighters Guild. You got the bank. And barely touched inside the bank.
Speak with me. The Muth-Nam monks use an ancient Daedric artifact to heal. How dare the very Ansu interfere with their
provisioning?
holy work?
It's all very basic. This came out well though. I've shown you this before in other housing builds for the windows. I'm going to pull most of these apart and show you how it's done afterwards. Oh, and then my small church area. However, there's two more areas undecorated. but if you build up to the upper level, they're normally arches, and I've shoved mirrors in to put glass in there. But what you can do is platform along, and you could build out to the front of that step there, and it gives you these automatic windows. And it's the only windows that the game kind of gives you built into a house. This was supposed to be the Mages Guild, so I could kind of... these don't clip together very well. Eleanor's do. These are messy. There we go. And then that used to be blocked off. The real point was to seeing how many different kind of styles you could build for the roofs. Okay, the last one is kind of hidden. The other thing you can do, if you don't want windows and you don't use the walkways, you can put a large one in. You can actually build out and have a double room here. Again, I hit my cap. This is kind of as far out as you can come. And obviously you've got the downstairs buildings. Okay, now there's starting the basic ideas off. Let me just jump down. Now there's kind of three areas that are repeated in this circle. So you've got, if you want to do any kind of building here, I would say just keep it to 1/3 of the circle. And what you can choose to do, you can either choose to have a long room. If I just pull, come on. So in theory you could have one house with 3 rooms downstairs, which give you your dining room, kitchen room, lounge, library. Come upstairs, put another room out here if you choose to, or brick this gap up. There's the other stairs down. Have something here, and you could have 2 or 3 rooms upper. So you could have 3 or 4 bedrooms upstairs. And if you only use literally from here to about here, it's not going to blow out your structural allowance. If you wanted to also, you could leave the bottom fairly open and have your upper floors, at which point you either do a staircase up but you'd need to have something in front just to hide the underneath the stairs. And you could just do a couple of balcony rooms. Okay, so I cheated. This originally was going to be a balcony. My idea that I'm kicking around at the moment is scaling the house back to 1/3 of the size, all these builds, clearing out the lower rooms, and then kind of doing like a garden estate where you have houses on the far side and then gardens all the way around. So buildings, there's just basic squares here with the platform on top. This wasn't very fancy, I just showing you that. Okay, now this area I had to block off. Oh no, I didn't. Oh yeah, there's because I built upstairs, there's clipping through the roof. But what you can do is just build in these lower rooms only, and then you never have to worry about clipping from upstairs. That's clipping from one of my garden areas. And for some reason here, where the levers are, it's just a blank wall. So to make the town look bigger, I just added fake doors. What else can you do? Okay, starting on the buildings, because I tried to make sure every single one was different. So the one with this, I think, works best for the stairs, if you wanted to do an upper floor. Again, I ran out of arches. But even under here, block off to the left and then to the right, you've actually got a small storage shed, work area. Why can't I get out? Okay, right, it's better. You don't even have to have that open like I haven't, and it just covers up all the rubbish that you're going to hide under the stairs. And again, you've got your nice one room here. You can use a double room into the courtyard or expand out. Same again with clipping, just put in a couple of round rocks or walls in the hedge, or in my case I've done some small bushes to hide it and just plant it out. I can't, what's behind this wall? So this is just one of the stairs up from the book area. I didn't want to have to block that all in, so I just turned it into dead space. That's my Mages Guild area. That's where we just were, where I had underneath the arches. Next area blocked off to make the build slightly smaller. I've actually got it on limited access for visitors, so they can't open all the doors. So I've shut off the ones that I didn't want seen. So actually inside it's a mess, as you can tell. Just pull this wall out. And again it's just plain wall for the back, sink a couple of the glass boxes in, and then here's your windows. Obviously that doesn't work. And then just sink on your roof and a couple of window boxes. And there's some mirrors for windows. With the window boxes, there's only two kinds from Laowin. What you're going to want to do is, same as I always do with the bookcases, just add a couple of bits to it. And then add some ivy, just so if you have a little bit of ivy, the small ones are better, and it just stops them looking too square, the houses. Makes them look a bit older. Again, I could have put a wall across here and made this an actual house you could go in. So you could just do lots of mini houses on one side, and if you're careful, it is torturous, but you can make them all livable. Okay, so this one, pretty much the same as a baker's. Just the back wall is actually used for a house. And just make sure you clip these roofs in so people can't see through. So aside from... Okay, so the orc mirrors with the triangles on the top, they look really good as windows and they clip together nicely. You just need to hide that shit underneath. But these two window boxes are exactly the same. I just added a couple of white flowers to that one. Again, run out of window boxes. And then where there you've got the basic slopey roof. You can make it 2 stories and then do the slopey roof up. Or here, hello kitty, slopey roof and then just add three walls, 1 roof and a mirror. And that just gives you an attic extension. Above the bank. I wanted the Warriors Guild to look more impressive. So if you're looking for a fake house or a home-built house to be nicer, again with the ivy, couple of pillars. I just did one either side of the Markov door. And then the new Markov windows, just put them into the roof, it's so easy. But they look really cool. I think I used those twice. Yeah, that's what I did in the Edge of the Mages Guild. I think that's about it. So like I said, I'm going to be reducing in scale the size of this place by a lot. And I'm planning on turning it into kind of a hanging gardens of Babylon. But again, if you're thinking what to do with the arena, and you don't want to just do an arena, turn it into a private castle. Just build up literally one giant square on part of this as a castle. Do your doors in, a few windows, and then you can put your, well, whatever the hell you want really on the outside. Because it's so stone, even especially when it's plain, I think having some kind of height or colour is good, so that's where the plants work. Now I'm just going to take out one section just so you can really see how easy it is to change an area up. Oh yeah, the bank. If you're doing something from one side... okay, that didn't work so well. If you're doing something from one side, you don't need to worry about people being able to see it. See it from in here might be easier.
May I be...
Grief. No, go away. So again, got the normal treasure. Angled it so you couldn't see it. Well, this is just going swimmingly today. Okay, yeah, so when it's angled, I just dropped a couple of extra bits. Just so that when you look from the front, it looks like there's a much bigger pile. Didn't even leave those in there. Oh, this was a nightmare. Trying to get the... This was going to be usable. So from the inside, I wanted it to look good. Trying to get that clipped in was just horrible. Okay, so you can kind of see now how all these completely bare alcoves, you just extend out into them. The only other thing to watch out, and this is really important, if you're going to be clipping through the outside walls, don't clip through probably from here, and if you're going to be able to get in the house to here, so do your build on this part, because otherwise people will be able to see bits sticking out. If you're going to block off the front door here and you're going to block off that entrance exit from the arena, then you've got a lot more, but you want to be clipping around this side in that case through to build your house. I do love doing this. Kind of shows you the order that I put, well, it's not the order I put things in, that's insane. I always do the walls first. That's it. hopefully I've not gone on too long. Hopefully you've seen kind of a few more tricks. I really did try to make all these buildings look different, even if it was just the roofs. Oh, where's the other balcony you can go onto? Nope, maybe not. Okay, there was plans to have that as a working balcony at one point, which would have been awesome. But yeah, space. So that's it, short and sweet, and I'm going to sign off. So until next time, hopefully it won't be a month until I have something ready for you guys. Happy building.